All right. So like my whole thing went weird and froze here, and I don't know why.
Oh, well, you're not frozen for once.
Okay, good. Good deal. Good deal. Welcome to this week's show. We're doing a little bit something about the World Cup. The World Cup at our table. I kind of like the idea of what it came up with World Cup at your table, because like I put this into a generator of what we're doing every week, and I asked AI to give me a title. So that's the title it gave me. World Cup at our table. And one of the things we chose was the fish and chips because England is still in the running. However, I told Gladys I was going to wait till we went live before I said why I was going to do this. I did what we call American fish and chips for a reason.
Okay.
It's not really American. It's called the Ron Swanson fish and chips. How many of you remember Parks and Rec and Ron Swanson, right? Number one, Ron Swanson was probably a guy who's not watching the World Cup. I didn't watch any of it. I really didn't, right? Not that I'm not, it's just, I'm not into any sports. I'll watch it like if it's a big party and everybody's at, right?
How are you and I still friends? If you don't watch, how are you and I still friends?
Alcohol.
I will tell you. So some of you saw the post from Quartz Mountain Distillery this last week. I was there, made a couple of posts. And I said, because we were going to be there, one of my networking groups. And then a couple of people said, so why'd you choose this place? Because I was a sponsor of the after hours. And I looked at them because, of course, I'm short, and they're tall. And at this point, I had already changed into my Quartz Mountain Distillery T-shirt and skirt and tennis shoes. So I'm a little bit shorter than my normal, 3 inches taller. And I looked up at them and I said, whiskey? And they said, good answer. So then they went about their business. I mean, I was going to pick other reasons, but whiskey was like the first thing that came out of my mouth. So,
well, no, that's why you and I are friends. That's the biggest thing is we like whiskeys, we like beers, we like wines, it's like it's the one thing we have in common. It's always the food. And truthfully, if you guys have listened to 189 episodes, it's almost always the food that's different.
Yes.
Usually we pick the like alcohol. We like the alcohol. It's usually we like it with different foods. Thus why we titled the show Like the Way You Drink.
Because if you don't like it, don't drink it. But it definitely has got to taste good. And we do a lot more than just alcohol, although that's primarily. You all might have seen that I posted a flight of water.
Yes, I did see that.
That did happen yesterday. I did do a flight of water because I had invited some friends over. They couldn't make it, but one of my friends said, I'll still come over. And I said, well, one of them doesn't drink anything other than flat water, still water. Whoa. So I bought like 4 different types of water. She goes, I'll take tap water. And I said, no. I said, I have 4 bottles of water. We are going to taste this. So we tasted it. And she's like, oh my goodness. And I gave her my little whiskey glasses. I poured mine into my little foo-foo glass because it had to be fun. I gave her a big goblet plus the 2 smaller ones. And she actually was like going, oh, well, this one tastes like this and this one tastes like that. There was actual flavor in this, and Icelandic Glacier was the one that won. Mm-hmm. It was yummy. It really was.
One of these times we are going to do Liquid Death because I know we both are in the mastermind with their ambassador. So, and he's agreed that someday he will come on and do a show with us, and Liquid Death would love it. I mean, Liquid Death is a great company. They do stuff like that, and they're into some of the same stuff we are. But anyway,
yeah,
I'm going to finish my story real quick, and I'm going to pop my champagne because Gwen wants some of the champagne. She's waiting to hear the pop so she can come in and get some. Anyway. So I went with the Ron Swanson's fish and chips, which is typical American French fries and salmon. Here's why. I was going through, I was going to get it from the restaurant up the street, and I realized my local restaurant didn't have it, but the bar did. And I'm like, well, I really don't want to play the 5 o'clock drive to there because it's a pain to go across 380.
Oh my goodness. It took me 10 minutes to go 2.5 miles. Yeah. And then it took me another 12 minutes to get back. And that was me going the long way, because if I had waited to make that right, I was going to go to either Wanker's or Boston's. But I said, since I was making also a steak, I was like, I don't need that much fish and chips.
Yeah.
And I got the kids fish and chips because I thought, this is a good amount of fish.
Yeah, it's a pretty good. Yeah.
So that's why I ended up going across, and I was like, oh, I should have just stayed on this side of the tracks. But that's what I get for doing that. So it threw me off just a little.
Well, this is why I said we do things different. Okay. I always have pieces of salmon. I don't usually have pieces of cod in my freezer, but I always have pieces of salmon.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm just going to do salmon tonight. But there are always French fries in my freezer. Always. Right? There's hash browns in my freezer. Always. There's when it comes to potatoes, all right, I have got loads of stuff in tater tots, right? You name it, it's in the freezer that we can pull up and freeze and or cook at any time, right?
Okay.
Salmon, same thing. Well, then I went up to the store and I did get some coleslaw to go with it, but I took a salad mix we had and mixed it in with it. And then, believe it or not, the champagne I have tonight, all right, or sparkling, it is a Brut from France.
Okay.
And we found this in Walmart.
That is French. I saw it. I did not realize that it was French. That's why I didn't grab it.
I bought an Italian one because we went a rosé, but I want to try that later. I didn't want to have that for tonight because I wanted to do a French bubbly tonight. All right, and this is like we're trying this out, and this was not like the $12 shelf. All right, this was a pretty expensive even at Walmart.
Oh, the one that I was looking at, it was a split. It was $44, and it was a split. It wasn't even a full bottle.
No, this was $44 for the full bottle.
So okay, well that's not too bad. So what I ended up getting, there's two things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
First off, I've had a Malbec before, but this time I found a white Malbec.
White Malbec. Now, now I've seen one of them this week, but it was not from Argentina.
Oh, this one is from Argentina. It's a reserve white, well-known Malbec, newly styled with aromas of cherry and raspberry and notes of green apple with fresh acidity. So this is one that I was like, but the other thing that I did was that I thought, well, what else could I do that's from Argentina? And what I found, which I hadn't thought about, is my yerba mate, which is yes, it's a tea. Now you find it's mainstream. You find it in energy drinks, what have you. But I got the loose leaf when I was in Argentina way back when, and I knew I still had some teas that I have bought since then. And so there's a cocktail that includes either a whiskey or bourbon. So I thought I'm going to put a little bit of Oregon bourbon with some Argentinian tea, which is in here. It's cooling down now. It calls for simple syrup and lemon. And I'm like, I had it all. I had it all. So that's what's going to be my other drink. But this is the first one. And I went with the white Malbec versus the regular Malbec because I thought I'm going to have fish. I need something kind of light, and it would also go with my meat, even though my other cocktail I think will go better with my meat. But this will go, I think, well with the fish and chips.
I'm going to say this. I mean, because the first time I tasted this is a really good bottle.
This is yum.
Lionel Royale, which I'm going to find more about it here in a little bit, but I'm going to show it on the screen one more time.
Let me get a picture of that
for you guys. And actually, I'm going to get Gladys will put this picture on the actual social channels.
Yes.
So, and guys, I got it at Walmart. All right. And I went to Walmart because Walmart usually has Veuve Clicquot. Yeah.
Huh?
That's my favorite. The Veuve Clicquot or something. Clicquot. That's my favorite one. Okay. It just is. And usually Walmart has some, and they didn't today. So I was a little down because that's really what I wanted.
But I mean, yum.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. I didn't want to drive over to HEB. Now, HEB this weekend, I found a lot of good ones. All right. And we've got a rule that we decided we'll always keep one bottle in our things. Well, recently we've been opening quite a bit of bottles because Gwen's been taking days off.
So long as you're replenishing, that's the important thing. You need to replenish.
Got to have one there. Yeah.
So when you have yerba mate, I know I have it in a box somewhere, or maybe I got rid of it because I was in Argentina 20 years ago. I actually got the It's like a gourd that looks similar to this. This is a new gift that my friend gave me when I was at her wedding at the end of June. But it looks similar to this. It's a gourd. And the Argentinians put the yerba mate, it's loose leaf at the bottom. The whole point with it, it is very sensitive. So you can't put like scorching hot water. It has to be warmer than lukewarm, but colder than scorching hot. And it's supposed to be poured on the side in order to not bruise the tea. Now, there is a straw, very specific straw that I also have with my gourd. At the bottom, it's round, but it has a filter because since they put it in there, it's trying to filter. It's not allowing the leaves to go in when you are sipping it. So when you are in Argentina and you go, I don't know if they're doing this after COVID, but I went back in 2005. You would just go into a store and you were, here, have some yerba mate, and everybody's sharing. It's like a sharing thing. So I decided that I'm going to make my cocktail in this because that's the closest I have to my little gourd.
Oh, wow.
The fish and chips, this is from Oswego Grill, and it was very basic. The tartar sauce here. I know I have some red wine vinegar that I can also use. I don't know that I have any malt, vinegar. I didn't look for it. And then what I'm making is a piece of steak that is going to have mozzarella. It's going to have ham and some tomato sauce that's going to go in the oven to allow it to melt. So
Gwen's getting her some champagne.
Ooh, got to get a picture of Gwen in the picture. Love it. Love it.
That's good.
So,
That's good.
It is good. I'm shocked at how good it is.
But I'm not. It's French and it costs $40.
Cheers.
Salud.
salud, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh, let me get a picture of that. Gwen, don't leave me just yet.
Oh, she left.
She left. Okay.
Yeah, she's trying to do cheers. All of us.
Okay, let's
Cheers.
do it.
You ready?
Yeah, ready. Love it. Thank y'all.
All right.
So,
And I want to eat. This is fabulous.
It is.
I want to eat.
Mind blowing.
so
From Walmart, ladies and gentlemen.
hey, you know what? Sometimes Walmart can impress us. Every so often, they come through and they do something yum.
Yeah.
So I am going to. I'm going to cut the cheese, y'all.
You do that. I'm like enjoying. I got like a really, really good good piece of salmon tonight.
So I also went to Kroger to get the ham, and they made sure that they cut it nice and thick. So I got a nice, beautiful
Oh wow!
piece of ham that's going to go over. So there's the meat. It's already been added and what have you. So now I'm going to put the mozzarella over it, and then actually I'm going to put the tomato sauce and then the mozzarella over it. I think that will taste a little bit better. So we're gonna. I know. I normally don't do the cooking while I'm going, but in this case, traffic made me do it. So I'm blaming it on the traffic. But I
Well,
think this will look
wasn't this a recipe though? You were telling me you had to do fresh, right?
Yeah, it is because you have to all you really truly do have to. So it's not a bad thing, and they didn't have any of my mozzarella already sliced, so I'm doing my own slicing, but it's gonna melt, so it's fine. It's okay. You can just pull it off. It depends on how pretty you want it to look. And then, of course, cheese is always delicious. So this one's the Galbani,
Yeah.
using Galbani. So this is going to go in the oven that I did preheat. I had it in there because I'm like, it needs
What's your preheat temperature?
about 350
350.
So-
How long do you cook it?
until it melts. So it should be a few minutes. So
All right.
the meat, you have to pound it down so it's nice and thin. Then you do an egg wash, and then you either can do flour or you can do breadcrumbs, whatever you really prefer. You then fry that. You don't have to fry it. You could do it in the oven. I decided to fry it just because it's faster. Plus, it's so thin that I knew it would cook quickly. Once you do
Mhm.
that, then you add your your mozzarella, your ham, and your sauce, and you throw it in the oven for it to melt, and it should come out very bubbly. So I'm like, my mouth is watering just thinking about it. In the meantime, here is my yerba mate. I'm like, it's got good flavor in there.
The only thing I had extra to drink was I actually have water to go in between things. That's it.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. So,
and just because it's just a plain seltzer water tonight, and I did it to do like if I wanted to do cleanse palates between things.
right.
This meal is so good that even the water tastes good.
Sometimes
Even the water's good when it's a good meal.
it is. It is. So what I did is that I brought from the office my juicer because I didn't bring it last time. I got to have one for home.
Yeah.
I just keep it at the office because I use it more there than I do here. Oh, that's gooey. I should have. No, that's all right. I'm making a mess. Nothing new. Simple syrup. You can make your own, but sometimes if I have not made it, this is the better way to go. And then I'm going to do. This is going to be interesting. I need another spoon because it calls for 2 ounces of either bourbon or whiskey. They also have recipes with rum, which I was like, okay, or tequila. So you can make a margarita, but with instead of using you're still using lemon, but you're using the yerba mate with it. So it's a little bit more herbal, if you will. I don't know if I'd like that, but because it's whiskey, I was thinking of a hot toddy, but this one's cold. So we'll see how this turns out. And I'm not going to put any ice on it just because, or maybe I will. I guess I could serve it with some ice.
So while you're doing that, I'm gonna say hi to some people here. So look, Robert's checking in with us.
Hi, Robert.
My friend Allegra's checking in. My fancy friend Allegra. All right. Also, she says she loves salmon. She loves fries. She's jealous. But guess what else she loves? Dear Ramada tea. All right. And then Robert. I'm sorry. What?
Kampai?
Robert, I don't. Kampai? I don't understand, Robert. Anyway. Robert will tell us what that means in a minute.
He always does. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's my pretty little cocktail.
Yes, it is. Okay, can you show us in the cup? So give us the color in the cup if you can, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there we go.
Can you really see it?
There you go, right there. There we can see it right there. So it kind of looks like a margarita.
Yeah, it has that kind of very flavorful, very tropical look to it. Because it's cold, it tastes good. So I'm gonna get a picture with, well, first the Malbec, the white Malbec, because that was different. I had not seen a white Malbec before. This is the first time. So we're gonna.
And it's funny, you said that to me in a text earlier today, and I swear this weekend I seen a white Malbec someplace, either at the grocery store or something.
You might have.
Wasn't but it was not from Argentina. It was probably from Texas.
Well, there's that. And the thing is, you never know where you're getting because there was things that I was finding that I was like, ooh, but it was California. Something else. Ooh, but it was California. So it just was very, very different. It took me a minute to find it. I was like looking for something from Argentina. So for those of you that are following or not following, did you watch? Well, I don't know. Did you watch any of the games?
I didn't. I
didn't think you had.
I have not watched TV much in the past 2 weeks at all.
I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but I did. I kept looking at the bracket. I was like, okay, how's my bracket? Not that I have a bracket, but just because I've been following. But I'm going to look it up because it went away. FIFA. Oh, this is smelling. I can smell it. Please hold.
Oop, there we go. Oh. Yeah, when it comes, I just haven't had the TV on, let alone having sports on. for most of the past 2 weeks. And it's not because it's just I've been so busy, I've not been able to get to watch anything on TV.
Yeah, so
Unless I was at the bar for lunch or something and it was on TV. That's it, you know.
yeah, there was a couple of ones that I did see the U.S. against Belgium, parts of Portugal against Spain, but it was like towards the end. I watched the highlights of Brazil and Norway, and it was so much fun watching Norway. Like even all the audience were doing the Viking, you know, row. That was kind of cool. Of course, watched Mexico against England, and then I did not watch Switzerland against Colombia. I missed that, but I did watch Argentina against Egypt, and then also Argentina against Switzerland. That was quite an interesting, fun game, and watched the end of England and Norway. So I only watched the second half of that. So next is France against Spain tomorrow at noon. Yeah. And then on Wednesday at noon, it'll be England against Argentina. And then the final World Cup day will be on Sunday, July 19th at 12 p.m. So it'll be either France or Spain or England and Argentina. So that's going to be the header. So today, because France, Spain, England, and Argentina, there were some Spanish wines that I saw, and I probably should have gone Spanish just because I was going to do the yerba mate, which is Argentina, and plus the meat. So I probably should have gone Spanish wine, but that's okay. I'm very happy with this one. And it is the reserve. They had a 2023 and a 2024. I got the 24.
No.
And then I haven't touched my fish and chips, so I have to see. I'm going to taste them by themselves and then with the tartar sauce. And I love fries with tartar sauce. That is always yum.
I do too. That's one thing I don't have is I didn't have tartar sauce here to do it. But I will eat French fries without no ketchup, no nothing. I mean, every now and then I'm like, okay, I want to finish them off. I'll have ketchup with them. But for the most part, I will eat most of my French fries from anywhere, good French fries without anything. I will say this when we're talking about, World Cup on the table is I have seen a lot of the news stories of like the teams here that are visiting the Dallas area or the Atlanta area, all the food they're trying. It's like these guys are like, these guys are excited to be in America, right? And I'm not going to make this about a political statement, but like, the world, believe it or not, is excited to be here. Just like Gladys and I find so many different things that you can eat and taste here. Well, the world, when they come here, they're like, oh my God, they get to experience the whole world here because we bring it all in and we make our version of it. You understand what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, yes, it may be an American food, but like you bring Tex-Mex, for instance, come here. Right? It's a whole different Mexican food, right? Pizza, Italy, whole different thing than what you'd have in Italy, right? Barbecue. Barbecue is the one thing in America.
You can get so many different types of barbecue.
Yeah. I think each state has its own version of barbecue.
Yeah. And then you got the Korean barbecue on top of that.
Yes.
And depending on the state, it'll have its own flair. Very different. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like when it comes to the food, all right, of what was going on with the World Cup, that's kind of why I played off of the American type thing, because there were so many teams who came here going all excited, all these places, all right? And like here in Dallas, I've watched every little news blurb come up about them going to try this guy's barbecue, that guy's barbecue, all right? Or they were doing tacos at this place, and that's the excitement of tasting the world.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. Okay, so here is my Napoleana meat.
A little higher. There we go. Higher. Do a tilt right out. Where we go. Right there.
And I guess the tomato on top would have made it look a little bit prettier. But this is not from Italy, just so that y'all know, even though it might sound like it.
It sounds or looks like it's from Italy.
Yeah, and it's not. That was the one thing that was highlighted. Let me see if I can find my information on... because the other thing I was going to do was chorizo, but then I would have had to have gotten the chimichurri. And I did have a chimichurri recipe. I had such a busy weekend that I didn't have time to make it, but I do have a really good chimichurri. So this is There's milanesa also. Where's my no, the choripan? That one's a sausage. It's usually chorizo. It's in a hoagie, and then with the chimichurri on top. The asado is the barbecue, so that's a different type of barbecue than this one. But there are a lot of Italian, another very Italian influences. And then could be the milanesa. It has a couple of different. That's what it is. Milanesa a la napolitana. So you would think like Napoli, but it's a crispy cutlet with tomato sauce, a slice of ham, and melted mozzarella. So this is the milanesa. And then so the milanesa from Argentina, the Malbec from Argentina, and then the fish and chips that represent England, and the mate that's over here. So we got a little bit of everything going on here. But we got to try. So I'm curious.
But you got to taste a little bit of it all, guys.
Yeah, I got to see which one I prefer it with. I don't know if I'm going to like it better with the Malbec, or if I'm going to like it better with the cocktail. So we're going to figure that out as soon as I can find my knife. There we go. It seems like I was a little not as prepared as I normally am other times, but that's okay.
I'm just over here nibbling and sipping.
As
this is what a
doing.
dinner is all about, ladies and gentlemen.
So we got I never would have thought of adding ham to my steak.
Really? No, I'm going to tell you a version that I found out ham goes very well with beef. Okay. And that is when in my teens, I worked for Roy Rogers Restaurant, which is a fast food version restaurant. And one of the burgers they had was called the Double R burger. Okay. And it was ham on a hamburger. And I'm telling you, that was a good, no one else I've never seen anybody else do it. A lot of people do bacon on a burger. But I'm telling you, ham is a great combination when you put the two together. Ham and beef go very, very well together.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I like this. With the yerba mate and the bourbon.
Yeah.
With the meat. I think it might be the acidity from the tomatoes and the richness of the meat. So, I got to try it again with this because it was the last of it.
Okay, so and I just look over. I look over the chat here again. So Robert tells us that Kanpai is cheers in Japan. So we learned something here tonight.
Robert is always teaching us something. Thank you, Robert.
It always. We're two people in the United States, but Robert in Canada teaches us more stuff than most people teach us here in the United States. He's a great follower of the show. We love him. So, this is really like, it really feels like it, and I know I improvised on this, but it really feels like I'm enjoying the world tonight.
Yeah. This combination with my, with the milanesa and the yerba mate. Yeah. On point. That is delicious. My fish, I really liked it with the white Malbec.
So typical, and this is probably what you got. Typical fish and chips is a breaded cod.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah. So, cod's not one of my favorite fish, but like the breaded cod type deal. And then it's breaded like a beer batter type bread, breading. It's not like what was that? Like the oh God, what's the
tempura?
Stuffing? Huh?
Not tempura.
No, like the crusted, like the crust. It's not the crusty
it's not
type breading. It's
bread, like breadcrumbs.
It's a floury beer batter that it is cooked in, which that's what makes it the English fish and chips. And it is not one of my favorite dishes. All right, I know I've had it. I've had it from many places. It's just not. However, I love a fish sandwich. But then again, I love a fish sandwich from McDonald's. So I mean, my taste can't be judged on the cod thing there very well.
Well, here you can find cod, you can find halibut, as well as salmon, fish and chips here in Oregon.
Well, that's why I did the salmon. I was wondering, as I asked if they did a salmon fish and chips up there.
Yes.
And do they cook it the same way?
Mm-hmm.
So, because I cook my salmon, I literally rubbed a little bit of olive oil onto it, salt and pepper on both sides, and left it sit on the plate for about 20, 30 minutes. Warmed the pan up, cast iron pan, oil in the pan. When the smoke started to come off that pan, I dropped it in and literally left it there on the bottom, maybe minute and a half. Turned it over, maybe minute and a half, and then maybe a minute. I turned the temperature off, and then in about another minute, I pulled it off. All right.
Well, here, if you're getting a salmon fish and chips, it's going to look like this.
Yeah,
it's going to be salmon. I mean, I guess you could ask for a grill. They'll look at you a little weird. Then that's not fish and chips.
That's not fish and chips.
Yeah, that's grilled salmon with fries.
That's not considered the fish and chips recipe. Okay, I'm just saying that way. All right, it is a fish, but it's not considered the fish and chips recipe. I got the idea to do salmon this way, but it wasn't done with olive oil. It was done with I want to say it was coconut oil.
Okay.
And that was she used to be in a mastermind. Her name was Melody, and I went to her house one time between mastermind and a week. There was a week that I was in California, and I was there with the truck and motorcycle, and her and her husband offered for me to come up and stay at their house in Santa Barbara. And the night that we drove up, that was what her and her husband were having for dinner was that. And literally, this is how she did it. And people always she used to say, people used to always ask her, "What's your recipe?" She goes, "Salt, pepper, put it in the pan and fry it."
Yeah. It's amazing what happens when you add just a few spices in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a whole lot. And if you have a good cut of meat, that's all you need. You do not want to hide that meat. If you got a good cut, salt, pepper, maybe garlic, you don't need to dress it up with anything, because it's a good cut of meat. It's going to shine, and that's what you want it. If you have a not so great cut of meat, then you want to dress it up. Like for my ham, I normally would get boar's head, but because it was going to be with the meat and with the cheese, I said, you know what? Let's get the not the boar's head, and it was fine. Although I still love boar's head.
No, I do get my those. They do it from. We do it from HEB down here every week. I started getting those, and I think I've had them on a show a couple weeks ago. Was the chicken wings? They're done in like a buffalo sauce, and they're just sitting in there. And there's usually about eight to 10 of them. It's about $5 for the package. And I really roll them in the sauce. I heat my grill up, and I cook them on the grill and flip them on the grill, so they got just a little bit of burn. And then I will sit there after I flip them. I'll take the pastry brush. I'll take what sauce is left in there, and I'll pastry brush it after I flip it. Pastry brush, and I mean, it's a simple recipe. Is my point? Is why I'm getting at. Is so many times we're looking for some of the most complex things. A good piece of meat, I could do that with just a little bit of maybe Tabasco sauce or something like that on plain chicken wings, and it would do the trick. I just buy them this way because they come with two different flavors. They got a barbecue one, and they've got a buffalo one.
Yeah, the way that I learned to make, and this was Wild Tree Products way back when, and I still do that. But they had a chicken wing, whatever it was. It was that you mix, what have you. But really, what it was is butter and whatever hot sauce you want. That's it.
Yeah.
So you cook the wings in the oven. When they're done, then in a usually a stainless steel bowl, you want to put your melted butter. On the stove, you have your melted butter, and then you throw your hot sauce in there. You mix it. Then you throw your wings into the bowl. Then the sauce on top, and you just toss. That is what wings are. It is
Yeah.
butter
True.
with hot sauce. That's
Yeah.
it. This was
Oh.
very yummy. I'm very
Good.
impressed with this. This last piece actually looks kind of pretty. It looks like a half moon. I'm gonna see if I can get a pretty picture of it from behind so that I don't see all the.
How was the cod from the grill you got it from?
It was actually pretty good. It's a kid size, and they had 3 pieces. I mean, this amount of food that Oswego girl gave me for a kid was. They make a delicious mac and cheese. I had it one time. I was with my friend and her 2 kids and her husband, and I said, "But I wanted the mac and cheese," and they're like, "I'll get you the mac and cheese," and it was like such a huge bowl. It was delicious. And I'm not huge on mac and cheese, but that day I wanted it. This time it was the kids' fish and chips. That was a perfect amount of food. It really was.
Well, the older I get, sometimes that's all I want is the kids' meal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I used to do that for my mama.
Yeah, I don't like I'm not someone who gorges down when I eat, right? And I usually will eat and then I will save the rest and back home. But I'm not a fan of leftovers. Most people know that my wife, that she doesn't like that about me, but I'm not a fan of leftovers. I like to cook something, eat it, and that's it, right? There's very few things that I like to reheat. All right. I will reheat a burger. I will reheat a small piece of beef, and probably when I reheat it, I'm going to add a sauce to it. I will reheat chickens all the time. I will tell you this is something else we have in there just because we made it today because she cooked a whole chicken, but the whole chicken came with all the gizzards and heart and stuff. And she said, "Would you like me to cook that up and make something out of it today?" Because Gwen was home, and I'm like, "Yes." So guess what she made me? My favorite dish, stuffing. I will reheat stuffing and eat it, reheat and eat it. You could make a pot of stuffing for me. And this is not like this fancy flavor. No, that's like a stovetop stuffing. Add this chicken stuff to it. That's like a favorite of mine, right? We're talking about meats, right? My steaks. Most of the steaks I do are salt, pepper, and put them in a grill, right? We found they just started getting the shaved beef, like to do the Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
And we basically bring it home. I take the pack out, put it on I put it onto a cutting board, and I cut it in 4. And then I take each pack and put it into and freeze it. However, I add minced onions to the freezed pack. So the onions are going to get in there as it freezes. Because when I cook it, I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to chop up an onion. If I cook that whole thing, like I did one last week, I chop up a whole onion and cook and butter. I fry that up first, then I put the meat in.
Okay, I would have thrown some bell peppers in there too, and then top it off with some cheese.
Well, I normally would do that cheese, but here's why I do it that way. I cook it and I can add the cheese or bell peppers later. But the 90% of what makes the flavor of that shaved steak type material for a sandwich is the fact that I cooked it in oil and butter. Our oil and onions, butter and onions. That's the flavor. And most people don't realize some of the stuff you cook is the flavors. And I know there was that old thing. My mom told me about it. Like in the old days, they used to teach women, all right, that, you know what I mean? If your husband's hungry and he's worried, just start cooking, chop up some onions, put him some butter in a pan, and just start cooking. He'll start feeling like it's going to be ready and he'll be fine. Anyway, and this, I will just say that secret works. My mother's used it. All 3 of my wives have used it. I'm just saying they've all used that trick and it works.
Okay. I will have to keep that in mind.
Even
one of my friends, whenever she comes over, she says, "Why does your place always smell so good?" I said, "Because you come over when I just finished cooking."
Yeah.
And so if I finish cooking, there's always garlic and onions smell absolutely delicious when they're in that olive oil. It's just so fragrant. It smells delicious. Or bacon. Bacon will linger. I close all my doors, open my patio door, because bacon smell will linger. I love the smell of bacon, but I don't need to smell like bacon either.
So we go to stories on that one. My wife told me that as a child, her father made soap out of bacon. And
What?
yes, she smelled like bacon.
I've never been told I smell like bacon.
I can picture all you girls now going, well, that scent will get a man.
I do have bacon in the fridge. Oh, I always keep bacon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how many people, if you're still here watching, if you watch this on a replay, and you watch the World Cup, tell us what you cooked while you were eating, what you cooked and ate while you were doing World Cup. Maybe you went to a specific pub. What was the foods you ate? You know, we do a Super Bowl party every year, and I can tell you, there's a million things we put into it.
Yep.
Right? I go to watch basketball live at the stadium. There's certain things I eat there. I go to see baseball. There's certain things I eat there, right? World Cup. I've been to one soccer game in my life. All right. It was in Frisco, Texas. All right. Where they were playing the Brazil team.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when I was married to a wife from Brazil. So that's why I seen it. I don't remember what I ate there. I just don't. I know we went to some little party afterwards that there was tons of Brazilian food, right?
Yeah.
But while I was sitting there in the stadium, I didn't eat anything. Whereas if I go to the ball game for watching the Dallas Mavericks, all right, I'm probably going to have either tacos or a brisket sandwich or something that's made there, or possibly a pizza. If I go to watch baseball, I'm probably going to get nachos and I'm going to get me a hot dog.
Oh, yeah. Hot dog. Baseball
right.
and hot dog and beer. Hot dog in one hand, beer in another. I remember taking my mama to watch a Dodger game. We were in nosebleed. My friend, my mama, and I were up there. And I was like, hot dog. So I got a hot dog. My mom got a hot dog. And then we shared a beer. And it was just like the best thing. That's what you do. You have a Dodger dog and a beer. That's just what you do. And it's so funny because I'm an Angels fan, and I would go to Angels Stadium, and I'm like, "Can I have a Dodger dog, please?"
Yeah. But the point is everything has an experience with it. What's your experience? Right? Yeah, we tried to make up an experience tonight because we really couldn't define one that was defined online. Right. So we made it up.
I did have so I had a slice of barbecue chicken pizza, and the pepperoni pizza that I had was vegan mozzarella.
Ooh.
It was actually really good because one of the folks was cheese intolerant. It's like, I eat meat, I just can't eat dairy. So it was a vegetarian mozzarella, and it was really good. It was off menu. It's Portland. If you're vegan or vegetarian, you will find something in Portland. And so this was Satellite Tavern, had a Modelo and vegetarian pizza, or vegetarian cheese with pepperoni on it. And it was yum. So that was my Saturday. That was Saturday. Uh-huh.
Well, that's what I was going to get at next is something we kind of do every week is we kind of go over some interesting meals we've ate through the week and things that we had stuck out. So that was that one of yours? I went to my brother-in-law's for his birthday on Saturday, and his stepdaughter's boyfriend, he made barbecue for us all.
Mm.
And his stepdaughter, Ariel, who's been a friend of mine as well. Ariel, like, she came over and sat down next to me and she goes, "That's the first time I've seen you clear a plate in a long time."
Apparently it was good barbecue.
It was,
and
she made her mac. I didn't have a beer or anything that day. I was just drinking seltzer waters. And I think it was because the day before I felt really bad about and so I just didn't want to have any alcohol that day. And also I was the one driving. So but that was like the biggest thing I think I had this past week that was really unique. So what was the other unique ones other than going to the distillery, which I'm sure you got some more experiences from there?
I got a new gin, and y'all know I'm not a gin drinker. So for me to buy a gin, you know it's got to be good. So now I have a gin flight that I am so ready to taste side by side. My Scotland gin that I brought back in October, that was barreled for 6 months in a barrel, so it's got that caramel color. My Lady Gin from Trail Distillery, and the bourbon bonded barrel gin from Quartz Mountain Distillery. So I have 3 gins that have sat in barrels for at least 6 months that have that beautiful caramel color that will make an absolutely delicious Martinez. So y'all, the comparisons of gin is coming.
Okay.
And you know, I'm not a gin drinker, but these gins, they hit me in a spot that I was like, ooh, I'm not used to that. All right, I got it. I will check you out and I will compare you. I'm content right now. So if y'all want to be part of those experiences, by all means, get on our list, the VIP list. Go to likethewayyoudrink.com and get on our list, because you'll be part of that Insiders Club when we do things, whether in Oregon or in Texas. Guess what? You'll be invited. You'll be able to be part of things that normally would be maybe our networking group or something that we would do with a close-knit group of friends. We're going to invite you. And if you can make it, if you're local, you are going to be more than welcome to come.
Sorry, I had to get that thing on my teeth.
No kidding. I have fries. I have fish. This was a delicious meal. Sometimes I'm okay with what I ate and it's fine. But this was absolutely delicious. I would eat this again. The fish and chips, I'm going to get the adult version of the fish and chips, and maybe I'll get it with the side salad or something, because that's a lot of fries. Even for a kid's meal, that's a lot of fries. I didn't even put out all the fries. There's still half the fries were in the little container.
But you can reheat fries.
Yeah, I normally don't, but I do have an air fryer. I should use it.
Yeah. That's how that's how I cooked mine tonight, with our air fryer.
I am content. So y'all make sure you sign up, and as Tim normally says, he and I are the ones that pay the bills around here. We're the ones that are our own sponsors, and therefore we have a little commercial that we share at the end of each of our episodes. So we will start with me, because Tim always starts with me, because I'm the lady here. So Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design. I help you become employer of choice through employee benefits. So if you are trying to attract and retain quality staff, guess what? There are 101 different ways you can do so. And if you're not sure what they are, go to insurancedesignpros.com. On the upper left-hand corner, you can get the white paper. But guess what? You might want to have the conversation and figure out, how do I, as a business owner, do that? Guess what? You can get on my calendar. Go to enrollnoworegon.com, and that will be my calendar link, where you can find a time that is convenient for you and for me, and we will talk through it. If it is something I cannot do for you, guess what? I probably know a broker that can. So this is Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design, and this is my co-host.
Hi, I'm Tim.
Still me, Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim. Simple Easy Websites is the business I run right now, guys. Building websites for the entrepreneur, the solopreneur, and the business person out there who is a small business person and wants to get their voice out there and make it more engaging online. If you want to grab that real estate online that you own, that you do, that you can actually make and turn into leads that will make you money and generate you business. Simple, easy websites. Not only do we design the websites, we can help write your content for you in a way that actually makes your client go, ooh, I want to work with them. All right. If you want to find out more, simpleeasywebsites.com. All right. Commercials out of the way. Not that they're out of the way. They're not that they're business or anything like that, but they are. But this is a fun podcast every week, like the way you drink. All right. And if you haven't, go like us on Facebook. All right. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right. We're even on Instagram. So, but yeah, and you can find all of them at likethewayyoudrink.com because they're all the buttons and stuff are on there now. All right. We will have a new website coming up soon. I promise. I kind of know the guy who's working on it.
Right? I know. I tell you,
Isn't it funny that his websites get put last on the list?
I know the feeling. I usually leave me for my insurance at the last minute and go, oh, I should probably take care of me. It happens. Our clients come first.
Gladys's website gets more attention than my website. It's because he's a website client.
We will see you all next week.
Guys, we will. So, wait, we got one more comment here. We'll see who that. Yeah. So, Robert, thank you. All right, for coming in. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Thank you all. Cheers.
Cheers.